Advanced Higher Chemists, this one is for you. Let's talk about transition metal complexes. So I've got this transition metal complex formula here, and the SQ could ask you to name it, ask you for the oxidation number of the cobalt, or ask you for the coordination number of the cobalt. So let's look at how we'd use the formula to work out all of those things. But before we can do any of those things, we need to remove these chloride ions that are on the outside of the transition metal complex. However, we can't just wipe them away because those chloride ions are there to balance charge, so what we need to do is remove them carefully. We know from National 5 that a chloride ion has a negative charge, so if there's 3 negative chlorides, that means to balance out, the overall complex charge needs to be 3 positive. And now that we've found the overall charge of the complex, we can remove those chloride ions. Anything outside of the square brackets is not part of the transition metal complex and is just an ion that is floating around and around the outside of the complex. So back to the naming. The name of the complex involves the names of the ligands, and they have to be in alphabetical order. This NH3 ligand is called an amine. This ligand, the OH2, affectionately normally known as H2O, is known as aqua for water. In a transition metal complex formula, the atom that is bonded to the metal has to come first in the ligand's formula, which is why we write OH2 and not H2O. And it still confuses me every time I see it. I hate it. Putting these in alphabetical order, the amine would have to come before aqua. We also need to add in prefixes for how many of each ligand there are. So there are 4 amines, which means that would be tetra, giving us tetraamine. And there's 2 waters, so it would be diaqua. So far for the ligands, we've got tetraamine, diaqua. Now we just need to add the metal into the name. This metal is cobalt, so the end of the name would have cobalt. However, if the complex is overall negative, you need to stick an 8 at the end. So if this was a 3 negative complex, it would be cobalt 8. But it's overall positive, so it's just the name of the metal, cobalt. So far we've got tetraamine diaqua cobalt, but what we're missing is the Roman numeral that tells us the oxidation state of the metal. So before we finish naming it, we actually now have to go and work out the oxidation state of the cobalt metal ion. So to work out the oxidation state of the cobalt, we need to look at what the ligands are. Now these ligands are what we would call 2 neutral ligands. Now a neutral ligand is a ligand that does not alter the oxidation state of the metal, so it does not take any electrons off the metal at all. And this is because they form dative bonds. Now, you need to know what a dative bond is. A dative bond is a covalent bond where both of the bonding electrons have come from the one atom. So in the case of the amine ligand, the 2 bonding electrons come from the nitrogen atom's lone pair, and in the case of the water aqua ligand, the bonding electrons both come from the oxygen atom because it's also got 2 lone pairs. Because these are both neutral ligands, they've not affected the oxidation state of the cobalt at all, so based on just the ligands, that should be 0 oxidation state. However, we need to then look at the overall charge. The overall charge is 3 positive, which means this cobalt must be 3 positive, giving us the Roman numeral 3, because the oxidation number is 3 positive. So now we have the full name of the complex, tetraamine diaqua cobalt 3, and we know that its oxidation number is 3. If you're still with me, let's look at the coordination number. The coordination number is essentially how many bonds have been formed to the metal in the centre of the complex. So if we look at the ligands, both of these ligands are what we would class as monodentate ligands. This means that they form only 1 bond to the central metal ion. Just a bit of a Latin lesson. In Latin, dent means teeth, and that's why you go to the dentist for your teeth. So essentially when we're talking about things being monodentate, bidentate, we're talking about how many bites, how many teeth does it have locked into the metal. So if it's monodentate, that means it can make 1 bite to the metal, i.e. 1 bond. If it's bidentate, it can make 2 bites or 2 bonds. Because these are both monodentate ligands, we really just need to count up how many ligands there are altogether. So there's 4 amines, 2 aquas, so altogether that's 6, which makes the coordination number of the cobalt 6. So hopefully that helps you with how to extract all that information that the SK might ask you in your advanced higher chemistry exam from the formula of a transition metal complex. Bye!